Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, 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 everyone. Howdy, howdy, howdy. How's everyone doing? Manifesting your dream life, having your prayers answered, being intentional about what you want. You could say it however you want. It's only semantics, right? You can say it's an outside source. You can say it's an inner source. You can give, credit to whoever you want to give credit to. Just decide what you want, remain faithful to it, know that it's possible for you, and then it will show up. Don't get desperate. Don't grow weary in well-doing. Don't get tired of doing the thing that you love to do. Like, how you gonna get tired about doing the thing that you love to do unless you're doing something you don't love? Then you grow tired of it. That's why you want to find out what is it that you love and then do that. And then know that you will be well taken care of because you're doing the thing that you find purpose and passion and love in. A lot of times, a lot of us are doing things we don't love. We find no pleasure in it. It's stressful. Hey, 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 Discovering Joy, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So that's what it's all about. Oh, you do. Let's hear it. That's amazing. We're in this body for a temporary time, right? We know life is eternal, but this moment, this third dimensional, this body right here, it's finite, right? Since you only have limited time in it, why don't you make the best of it, right? While you have this now moment. And so why waste it worrying, complaining, living a life that you truly don't, find any pleasure in? Right? What brings you joy? What gets you up in the morning? Ooh, that's beautiful. Hey, 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 good afternoon. Hey, 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 Glaze Innovations and Baba I Am. Yes, that is beautiful. Wow! So happy for you. Wow! Congratulations. I love that. They came to me last night and that this is the heaven. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, and I'm sure you will have great success. It'll be a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Remember to always enjoy it, right? Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. That's what we have to reprogram our minds to, right? Because so many times we get off track when things don't go quite the way we desire, and we start losing focus and losing purpose and losing that, this whole experience was never meant to be a struggle, a strain. It was never meant to be hard. It's our thinking that caused that, right? It's our thinking that causes life to seem more difficult and more challenging than it is. Really, life is really easy if we allow it to be. Yes, I know I will enjoy this. Say that, claim it, speak it. Yes, I love that, Discovering Joy. I love that. I love that. We just have to remember just how that we're not just, little cogs in this machine, this world of life, that we're just not little pawns on a chessboard. That we are the chessboard. We are the pieces. We are the game. We are everything contained in this system, in this womb of creation, in this matrix. We are playing every part, and everything that's going on in our life is based on our own subconscious beliefs. And it's about Coming to the realization of who we are and just how powerful we are. Remembering that. And I know a lot of times that may seem a little, sometimes remembering that, sometimes we take our eyes and they veer to the left and they veer to the right. And it's like we start comparing and wanting to compete against others, and we see where others are in their life compared to where we are in our life. And sometimes we feel like we're behind and we need to catch up. But this isn't a race, as the world would tell you, right? This is not a race. You're just here to experience life. You're not on a journey to anywhere. There's nowhere to go. There's only to be aware, to be present, to be in the now. It's to be or not to be. That is the question. Hey, Gracie, hello. That's really the question. To be or not to be. Who do you say that I am, right? I am is a form of being. It's the form of to be, right? And so deciding what that looks like. What this version of you is, this version that you came into physical form to experience this thing we call life. And you've awakened out of the dream. You're aware now that, that this world, this experience is about possibilities, what's possible for you, what you're capable of. And really understanding that your world bends to your thoughts and beliefs about it. When you understand that the world shapes itself and forms itself in alignment with your thoughts and your beliefs, then that's where the magic happens, right? That's when you can start seeing things shift and change in your reality, because you have decided to shift and change your mind, your thoughts. And learning not to overthink and worry and doubt and fear, because then that's when you started adding things to the mix that you really don't want to have come in. And I know we say that we're going to experience contrast. We're going to experience some things that we quite didn't see coming, but that's okay, right? It's okay that contrast comes. Contrast is, it's just a part of the game. It's part of being human. Yes, you're going to have quote unquote missteps. You're going to have some things happen. And it's not so much about what happens, it's how you perceive what's happening. That's what it is. It's the meaning you give it, right? As Bashar told us, life really has no meaning. The meaning that life has is based on the meaning that you give it. And so now you get to determine how you will define your life, your purpose, your life. How do you define that? How do you see life shaping out for you? Who are you being? Who do you desire to be? Do you see its possibility? Do you see that it's possible for you? Or do you think that's only meant for other people? Right? And man, oh man, when you start down this path of remembering who you are, man, there's so much information out there. And some of this information is some disinformation, some misinformation. Like they're purposely giving you wrong information. It's almost like, so I was in church in my late 20s to my mid 30s. That's when I was in church. And I discovered law of attraction mid 40s. And as I've been on this path of remembering who I am, it's interesting that some of the things I got away from the church, from religious organizations, you find in the quote unquote spiritual community. It's like we just exchanged the pastor for the spiritual guru, for the self-proclaimed masters, for the internet gurus, for people that say they have the answer, and now they want to sell it to you. kind of like the religious organizations, right? They have the answers. They have the answers. And in order for God to meet your prayer, to answer it, to even thinking about, considering answering your prayer, it is required that you tithe, right? It is required that you give some money. And it's the same type of mindset here in the spiritual community. If you want your manifestation quick, fast, in a hurry, then it will behoove you to get you a coach, to find your internet guru that you can give you might as well call it a tithe or an offering that you're giving to them. You're going to give your hard-earned money to someone who don't know no more than you, who's read the same exact books that you've read, who watched the same exact videos that you've watched, who meditated just like you, but somehow you'd rather put your trust in them than put your trust in you. Same thing with the church. Instead of having your trust in you, you put your trust in the pastor. You put your trust in the mother, the missionary, the deacon, the self-proclaimed apostle and prophet. So I just be fine until I have to leave my house. You said they can't drive. All right, Cleopatra. So how did you remember who you are? When you start questioning life and you start realizing, you kind of go down a rabbit hole and start seeing that everything that you were told was basically upside down, inside out. It was really that you start to discover that what you thought this world was is the exact opposite. Oh, thank you, Glaze Innovations. Hey, Pastor Jesse. Oh, thank you. So are you, Glaze Innovations? Glad to have you here. Are you going back live with the AI? You know, I've discovered AI on CapCut, and boy, I'm about to start doing some faceless videos. I think that's what my YouTube channel is about to become, and my TikTok. I'm like, you just put in what you wanted to say, and then it curates a whole story for you. And I do come up with the topics. I do come up with the points that I want it to say, and I can also edit. They give you like 3 stories that you can use, and I can also edit them. Oh my goodness, the AI is like, woo, love it. Yes, hey Lola, say the Whoop changed his clothing. I love the way you said that. Hey, pretty as Lene. Oh, you say I missed y'all. I'm in training for a job. I'm ready to leave, so I haven't turned. Oh, okay. Well, I don't come on as much as I used to, pretty as Lene. I decided 1 or 2 days a week until I change my mind again, right? Nothing is fixed in stone, right? I'm forever evolving and changing and discovering what works for me, right? So I say that this week, and then next week it'll be something else until, because I feel like there's no rules to this. You could say you're going to do this, and then you do it, and you find out, I really don't like that. I can switch it up. And then you do that, and then you find, I don't really like that either. I'm going to switch that up, right? The flexibility of life and not having, you're the only one in your reality. There's no, I have to do anything, right? So that's the mindset I have. I don't have to do anything. I choose to do it. I get to do it. Oh, yes. Oh, I love that. Yes, Glaze Innovations, you said you do faceless and it's working. Yes, absolutely. Say, do I practice techniques? The things that I do, most people call techniques, but I say that we naturally do them, so I don't necessarily like to refer to them as techniques. But, we're always talking to ourselves, right? So our conversation is our affirmation, is our prayer, because you're always talking. You're always communicating with yourself. So every thought is a prayer. Every conversation is an affirmation. So yes, meditation is communing with your own self. So yes, those are the things that I do. Every now and again, I write things down, but it's not necessarily to say this is what's going to manifest. Sometimes I just like writing my thoughts down. I don't write them down to see if they're going to happen. I write them down because I know that they're happening, right? Like, it's not quote unquote a technique. It's just sometimes I like to put my thoughts to paper, and sometimes I don't. Oh, okay. Yes. I got to see how to use my own voice. Right now, I'm only using CapCut because it's the feature that's offered on that video editor, and I don't really want to pay for another video editor, so I have a paid subscription through CapCut until August, the end of August. So I'll decide then if I want to renew my subscription. But right now they have different voiceovers that you can use. I guess I can always voice over it myself if I wanted to, but I was just like letting them do it. And I like having the different voices that you can choose to use to tell the story. It doesn't necessarily have to be in my voice. Hey, sunshine. Hey, Janine. Grand Rising. Yes. Welcome. Hey, Shimon. Yes, I'm really loving it, the glazed innovations. I'm really loving the I'm like, oh, and the thing is, I'm just gonna keep recycling and repeating the same things that I've already said, and just letting the AI come up with different ways to present it, right? And use different story backgrounds and different, but make sure that the essence of the message remains the same. But I love it. And I'm like, I'm just getting so many ideas, like, oh yes, that, oh yes, that, oh yes, that. And the video's been doing really good on YouTube. TikTok, TikTok is what it is. TikTok is more like, nah, we need to see your face, kinda, but it is what it is. I ain't worried about it. I'm going to do me, and whatever happens. I like the faceless thing. I like it. So I just have to. Oh, thank you. Thanks. So are you. Are you posting your faceless videos on TikTok? Or you have a YouTube channel? It does, Glaze. It does. It does like that personal. You're right. So I'll still try to do my at least 1 minute and 5 second video on TikTok. You're right. Oh, you're faceless on all of them. Nice. And so being, are we stepping into being who we say we are? Are some of us like apprehensive when it comes to that? Are you getting like, do you have a little like nervousness, anxiety? Like how those of you that have decided to truly step into that essence of being who you say you are, right? Are we going to sleep in that state? Are we waking up in that state? Are we getting gratitude? Are we paying attention to to our inner conversations, making sure that our inner conversations align with that state that we say we are, of who we say we are? Does it match? Remember, your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, they have to marry one another, right? And so you have to remind yourself of who you are, and talk the talk, and also walk the walk, right? Because it's not only what you speak, because the more you say it inwardly, it becomes an outward expression. Oh, that's beautiful, Shimon. Beautiful. And it takes practice, right? But you'll see that the more you do it, you'll just start seeing that your choices are different. you'll start seeing that the way you see your world is just different. And it's not necessarily a big, it won't be to your family. It may seem like, oh my goodness, you've changed, or your friends it may seem really like a really big turnaround for them. But for you, because it's been a daily thing, you've been doing it. It's a daily meditation. It's a daily prayer. It's a daily impression. You're right. You'll see the little things be different. The confidence growing, the choices that you know. I don't really watch this TV show really doesn't resonate with me anymore. The music I used to listen to, that really doesn't resonate with me anymore. Certain conversations, certain relationships don't resonate with you anymore. You know, you stop feeling like you have to try so hard, right? That you got to put forth all of this effort. The efforting kind of ceases too. Hey, Tiara. Oh, yes, Shimon. That's beautiful. That's it. Hey, Teresa. Yes, it is being recorded. Yep, it'll be uploaded to YouTube. Yep, Ashley. All right, have a wonderful meeting. As I just decided to stay quiet and know my inner combos are getting. Oh, yes, Janine. Yes. So the journey has been the main thing for me. I'm intentional with choosing life and happiness. Absolutely. And sometimes you'll notice that some of those old stories will come up, and I believe that old stories come up to reframe them. So we can reframe them, rebrand them, give them a different meaning, give them a different perspective, not to dwell on them, not to be ashamed or feel guilty about them. It's really about to see it from a different perspective, give it a different meaning, right? And I find myself saying now, that's none of my business. That's really none of my business. You know, because sometimes thoughts will come into your mind and be like somebody else's story, somebody else told you maybe 6 months ago, a year ago, and it pops in your mind. And I'll be like, why am I thinking about this? This is none of my business. This has absolutely nothing to do with me. It's none of my business. So I find myself saying that more and more. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That's none of my business. Or some, you know, experience from childhood try to pops up into the mind, and you be like, I don't even resonate with that, who I was as a child. Like that has no reference point. You know, it's just like the things you did as a child, you were a child. You had, you know, you were only doing what maybe what you saw other people doing and doing what the parents did, or maybe, you know, being sneaky, doing some stuff, and you just did stuff, you know, out of curiosity, whatever it was, whatever reasoning you did it, give it just the different meaning and just loose and let it go, right? Release it with love, release it with compassion, release it with understanding, because we have to get to the place that we don't operate in guilt and shame and remorse or regret. That's what Romans 8:1 says. There is therefore now no condemnation, right? We're not condemning ourselves for any choices made in quote unquote the past, when we were our younger self, in whether you were a young child, a teenager, a young adult, whatever phase of life you were in, and some of those things try to come back and try to haunt you. They're coming back so you can release them with love, so you can truly completely forgive yourself, which means to let it go, to forget. And you forget it. It's easier to forget when you can reframe it, when you can give it a different meaning, when you can see it from a different perspective. And you really want to see it from a place of compassion, empathy, and love. And that's beautiful. That's the cleansing. Because you assert, yep, you were just cleansing. That's the flood, right? The flood is described in Genesis. The flood of emotions that's being washed away because you're being transformed, right? Because we're all Noah's Ark, right? And we all experience a flood of emotions, things that have to come and cleanse that inner being and bring about a new day. All right. So allow yourself to feel those emotions. Allow yourself to experience the flood that comes up with no judgment. And let the tears flow. All right. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Because we have to really constantly remind ourselves. I know a lot of us may find it difficult to see ourselves as God in human form, right? And we're like, oh, we're God. How I don't feel like God. I don't feel like I have any power. I don't feel like That's why I say feelings. What does feelings have to do with your power, right? Feeling like you're God, feeling like you're powerful, feeling, command that you are. Command it. And the feelings will eventually align once you practice reminding yourself of who you are. That's why you have to put it to the test and you have to override the feeling. And that's why you're told to be still and know. Not be still and feel. Be still and know. So still the mind, still all of those false beliefs, those false narratives that told you you aren't enough, you're powerless, you're a sinner, Hey, Lisa. Yes, great purge. Love that. Because yes, that old man, old mind tries to come up and wants to, the adversary, the devil, Satan, tries to come up and rear its ugly head and tell you it's like the temptation of Christ, right? You fasted from all this negativity, right? You realized you're the Christ. Right? The dove has come down, descended upon you. And here come that old man known as the devil, known as Satan. He says, if you be the Son of God, then turn these stones to bread, right? If you be the Son of God, cast yourself up off this hill, throw yourself off this hill, off this mountain, and see if not the angels won't come and gather you up. If you be, this was the part that we really have to think about, right? That third one, that says that where the devil offers Christ the thing he already has. When he says, if you bow down before me, I'll give you the kingdoms of the world. And I'm like, that was an interesting temptation, because is it really a temptation? Can the devil offer Christ something that already belongs to him? And that's what you have to remember when it comes to this world. You don't have to sell your integrity. You don't have to sell your soul, as people would say, in order to get the things of the world. Why? Because they already belong to you. So how you going to get tricked out of something that already is yours? Unless you don't know. But see, Christ knew who he was. He knew that the earth was the Lord, was his. It was his footstool. He knew that the devil can't offer him something that he already has possession of. And so that's what you have to remember when these pastors and these internet gurus try to come tell you they can give you something that you don't already possess. And a lot of people promise you things that you already have within you. And they think they can give you something, that they're giving you something that you don't already have. Hey, Shanzi. Thank you. Hey, me. So to be still means it's saying not to worry, not to fear, not to be anxious. So being still means quieting the mind, quieting those negative thoughts, those fear thoughts, those doubting thoughts, those limiting beliefs. That's what you want to still. You want to tell. It was like when the disciples, I don't know if you're familiar with scripture or not, but it's a story in the Bible where the disciples and Jesus was out on the sea, right? And the sea started raging, and then the Christ commanded the sea to be still, right? It's just a symbol. It's just symbolism or an allegory to show you that their emotions were out of control, their doubts and their fears. They thought something was going to happen, or they thought the sea was going to be able to overtake them and to, slay them. And they were and Jesus was in the boat, asleep. And they were like, Master, do you not care for us? Like, wake up, dude. These sea is raging and it's out of control. And he just spoke to the sea and said, peace, be still. And then the waves had to, the sea had to calm down. That's what being still and know means. Telling your emotions, your thoughts, your negative conversation to settle down. Be still. Relax. It's everything, all is well. Everything is okay. Hey, 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 Feminine Lux. Hey, hey, hey. So if Jesus wasn't aware of what is his, he would have, and that's what we have to be. We have to be aware of that we already possess all things. And it's not about trying to get, it's about what? Calling forth. It's about commanding. It's not about chasing. It's what? Attracting. Yep, we are already abundant. Hey, 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 neighbor. Hey, 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 Felinda. Say, Pastor T. See, it's about knowing who you are. And I get it. A lot of us, we were in that state of mind where we didn't know who we were, right? We were searching for answers on the outside. And some of us still fall into that trap of looking for answers outside of us, running to this person and running to that person. And, and that my platform isn't about you thinking that I know something you don't know, or that I have an answer that you don't have, or that I have something that you're not in possession of. No, we're on this platform together to help one another remember who we are, to remind one another. Oh yeah, that's right. That answer is already in me. It's not found in another. It's actually found in me. And it's free. It doesn't cost you a thing. The only thing it'll ever cost you is your attention. That's it. Because God has richly given you all things to enjoy. God, your inner being, your I am, has already given it to you. So you don't have to pay nobody for it. That's what you have to understand. You don't have to pay anyone for this truth. The truth is in you. You don't need that any man shall teach you. Your I am, your spirit within you will make all things known to you. The only thing is you have to ask. Ask and you shall be given. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened. You draw nigh unto God and God draws nigh unto you. You're the prodigal son that remembered who they were. And as he came towards the house, what? The father came to running and met him in the field and said, oh, my son who was lost and now is found, who was blind and now sees. See, when you awaken to the truth and you start drawing nigh to the inner being within, then it starts to reveal the truth to you. Oh yes, Glaze Innovations. Yes. When I did a video about the Bible being esoteric knowledge and allegory and figurative language. And it automatically gave me 3 stories that were based in symbolism. Gave the resurrection story. It didn't go deep into it, but it gave the Noah's Ark. It gave the resurrection, and it gave when the Israelites was leaving Egypt, and broke those down in a figurative language and very simple. Didn't go into no in-depth, monologue about it. But it just simply was like, yes, the resurrection is about transformation. The leaving Egypt was about leaving that negative state. The flood was about, the cleansing and the washing away of negative mindset. Like it. That's why I love the AI. Yes, because the thing is that we'll always get confirmation bias, right? So anyone can use AI that's going to back up their own beliefs, right? So yes, if you're of any religious affiliation, you can use ChatGPT to back up if you believe in Christianity, right? It'll back up if you believe in Islam. It'll back you up if you believe in Judaism. It'll back because it's going to pull from all of those resources, right? Yes, love ChatGPT. Say maybe too much. Oh, okay, nice. All right, neighbor. Oh, y'all say if you want depth, tell us to go deeper, and it will. Yes. Now I don't really talk to ChatGPT. I only use the ChatGPT. I only use right now. I've only been using the AI story form for my videos right now. But I like the story that is said about the problem with religious organizations and specifically Christianity. The whole narrative about being a sinner and needing human sacrifice and, God allowing, you to be tested and tempted by the devil and needing tithes and offering before he'll bless you. I love how they brought all that into one story to make you question, why do you believe in this type of mindset? And it doesn't help you see that God is unconditional love. It makes you look at God as something other than that. And so gives you some things to ponder and to think about and to be like, how religion has shaped God in man's image as opposed to realizing that we are formed and shaped in God's image. It's part of I paid for CapCut like back in August, and they might have had AI, but I didn't buy CapCut for that specific reason, and they might have had AI previous to that, but I wasn't aware. But they added a new feature called like a video creator or story form, and so I noticed that in the CapCut. I noticed that was new, so that's what brought my attention. But they might have always had AI when I purchased it back in last August. But I got it just for some of its simple features, and they were running a sale. I think that's why I purchased it. I think it was on sale, and so I bought it while it was on sale. So, but it's part of CapCut. Yep. Oh, thank you, Rising Truth. Oh, I like that. Conscious beauty. That's cute. Yes, got to get those discounts. Oh, you're welcome, Janine. Oh, you're welcome, Janine. You're welcome. Yes, because with that feature, with that story form feature, they have like 28 different backgrounds. So you can do like movie form, you can do cartoon 3D, you can do clay animation, you can do anime, you can do like animals, doing it animals, you could do superhero, comic strip. It's like so many. I love it. And you could put your own script in there, or you can give them a topic and give them the bullet points that you want, and then they'll produce you could tell them how long you want it for, whether you want it for 1 minute, 3 to 5 minutes, or more than 5 minutes. You can tell them. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Hey, Lyra. It is great for faceless. Yep. Oh, thank you, Rising Truth. We're talking about the AI Chat GPT. I discovered an AI tool on CapCut, so I've been using it for my YouTube and TikTok videos and Instagram. I've been posting this at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I'm like, oh, I've been making like 4 or 5 videos a day. I'm like, oh, let me see. I just recently did one on the SP, manifesting your SP. I shared that to the Facebook group too. And it is on YouTube. So, and it is on YouTube. So, well, I shared the YouTube video to the Facebook group. Yeah, but they give you 3 different scripts, and then you get to decide which script you want to use, and you can edit them and change them, you know. You watched it on Facebook? Cool. Yeah, so I'll be using it a lot more. I like it. Say, how do I start my day? Well, I wake up pretty early in the morning. I say usually I wake up anywhere between 4:30 and 5:30, and I just lay in my bed and I'm just talking to myself and communicating with myself and getting still, and sometimes I'm asking myself questions, and you know, and really wanting to truly understand who I am, and going deeper with those conversations, you know. And I generally go to sleep how I wake up. You know, sometimes I do go to sleep to the TV because I like to watch The Gilded Age. I know I told you guys about The Gilded Age and the world of opulence and how they lived in all these huge homes, and you know, and that was the time during the Industrial Revolution. So people were coming into great wealth during that time, and it was a time where, you know, depending on your social status, a lot of women didn't work. It was like, you know, frowned down upon for women to work, especially if you were a certain ilk, if you had a certain amount of money. And so, yes, I want that to be impressed upon me in my talk, that, you know, I mean, I'm already a stay-at-home wife, but I like seeing like just the mindset, the elegance, you know, just the mindset, the elegance, you know, the different, the galas or the galas they would have, and the parties they would have all night, and dancing and eating and all that type of stuff. And I love, you know, I just like that, eating and all that type of stuff. And I love, you know, I just like that time in history. Hey, Gigi. Hey, Caleb and Charity, the alchemist. Ooh, I like that. I'm talking about a new job, but I keep hearing so many different ways. The thing is, so you don't have to try to manifest the job. You have to know it's already yours. So yes, all roads lead to manifestation. And so you do what resonates with you. All right. So I still don't know where to start with manifesting consciously. Like, it should just start. Yeah, so here's the thing. You're always manifesting. It's about, what do you want to be different in your world, Lyra? What do you want to be different? And then that's where you put your focus. And you assume that you already have it. And you don't worry about how it's going to come and which way and how long. Don't let these people trip you up. People got you so focused on, oh, you should have it in this amount of time, and you got to let go of that mindset. You know, I know that's the hot thing right now. They love the clickbait. It's real with the 24-hour, 72-hour, manifest in 10-minute type mindset. There is no time in consciousness. So let that mindset go. Everything happens when it's supposed to. Here's the thing. Your I am, the greater part within you, knows that you have need of the things that you have need of. And the moment you believe it's yours, it's yours. Well, you are divine timing. You are timing. You are divine. You are divinity itself. You are the reason for time. Right? It's like what the Bible says. The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Time was made for man, not man for time. Okay, Lyra, so just think about your life. Just think about your life. You have gotten things that you wanted before, correct? Money. I want more money. I'm not mad at that. Right? So just think about something. Right? So just think about something that you wanted and you were able to obtain it. What was your mindset towards that? Whether it was you finishing school, doing great in school, getting a job, learning how to drive, learning how to ride a bike, something that you have achieved in your life, and you had absolutely no idea how it was going to happen, but you knew it was going to happen. You set your mind on it. You had a goal and you achieved it. Yes, great day, Coach Shiva. Can you think of something in your life that you had a goal and you accomplished it? We all have had that, right? We've all have met goals in life. Hey, dream woman. Hey, dream woman. Yes, the things that you're consciously or unconsciously manifesting are your beliefs. Always. Your world is the way it is because of the things you assume about it. You have certain assumptions about life. And so everything is always done unto you as you believe. Always. Hey, Delissa. What do you mean you didn't manifest this? You mean you didn't specifically ask for it? You said it keeps freezing? I don't know. Because it says I have good connection, so I don't know, guys. Hey, CC. You said don't go anywhere? Okay. Yeah, these Wi-Fi networks, boy, they just, I don't know. Because remember I told you guys I had AT&T, switched to Comcast. I got Comcast now. I got the best that they offered. Their best Wi-Fi that they offered. So I don't know. From AT&T to Comcast. Oh, it's not freezing for you, CC? Okay. So yes, I did. He specifically asked for it, but I guess probably had a general belief. Yes, the thing is that probably had a general belief. Yes, the thing is that remember, you don't make anything happen consciously, right? You choose consciously what you would like to take place in your reality. Some things happen exactly the way you asked for, and then some things happen better. But if you have a general belief of things not going well, they will go just as bad as you thought they would, or they will go even worse. See how that happens? So if you, and then it's happening or not happening, it's good or bad based on what? Your perspective. You're saying it's really bad, but is it? You're saying it's really good, but is it? It's all based on how you determine the experience. And it would just be great to just not really judge the experience and just say, everything is working out for me. Even if it appears to be going awry or going to the left, or it doesn't seem to be going the way you think it should happen. Because you don't know all of the ins and outs. You have limited information. But the consciousness, the awareness, the I am within you knows the begin before the end, or knows the end before the beginning. It knows what the outcome already is. You just don't, and you know the outcome. You just don't know how the outcome is going to happen. You know the outcome too. You know that you asked for a specific thing. You just think it's supposed to go a certain way. That's not your work though. That's not your job to say I must take this way. I must take this amount of time. I must be in this specific place. Yep. So how do you make what you want a belief? Should I start with affirmations? Well, the moment you asked for it, it was a belief. What do you mean? How do you make it? How do you have the faith in your choices? How do you accept it as a possibility? Yes, this is where affirming comes into place. This is where, talking to yourself. And some people visualize. Some people journal. Some people make vision boards. Here's the thing, Lyra. Like I said, you've always been manifesting, and you've gotten certain things in your life based on the choices, right? You decided certain things in your life and you were able to get them. What did you do? What was your process? Did you just say, this is what I want, and then things started to happen? Or were you someone that wrote things out first prior to them happening? Because vision boards are a new thing, right? Vision boards, before magazines came along, people wasn't really getting no big old cardboard and pasting and cutting and putting stuff on and saying, oh, this is my, people use their mind, use their imagination, right? There you go. You just did them. You spoke it, and then things just started to happen. Right, Lyra? You spoke it, and things just started to happen. But you think it should be more than that because people told you it's not that simple. I'm telling you, yes, it is, because you've been doing it your whole life. You just think now because you've listened to some people on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, and they told you, no, you got to do my method. You got to do it my way. You got to do these 5 steps. You got to do these 25 processes. You have to do it this way. No, you do it your way. You've been doing it the whole time. You've been deciding what you wanted. You believed you could have it. You might have waited to give thanks though, right? You might have gave thanks after it happened. And I'm telling you now, give thanks before it happens. Right. And I think the doubt built up because you start listening to other people, because other people start telling you it's more complicated than what it is. So you listen to other people say, well, I manifested like this and it came in 2 seconds. I manifested like that and it came in 5 seconds. And okay, everybody want the 5-second rule when it comes to manifesting. Everybody want to get it in 5 seconds. They're being dishonest. Everything you manifest doesn't manifest in 5 seconds. Does some things happen in 5 seconds? Yes. Some things do. Do everything you think about come into your experience the moment you think about it? No. That's just not how it goes. We created time for the delay so we can have the ability to change our minds, right? You can change your mind. Okay. You see, it took longer. See, I don't know how long a manifestation is supposed to take. I have absolutely no idea. Right? I have absolutely no idea. Some people, it's about the time it takes has to do with you and no one else. The time it takes has to do with your ability to believe in its reality. That's how long it takes. The time it takes depends squarely on you, your ability to believe it's yours. And so however long it takes, because, okay, you want this thing, but you're like, I feel nervous about it. I'm still doubting. I don't know if it can really happen for me. I'm still questioning. Well, then you're what? You don't believe it's already yours. So then guess what? You have to persist in telling yourself that this is possible for you. So I would say when you're struggling to accept your desire, go watch some people that have the thing that you asked for. Because sometimes, a lot of times, the things that you want, somebody else already has manifested it. And then you can you can identify with it, right? And it makes it real to you and it makes it possible for you. And it doesn't have to be exactly the thing that you want, just in the ballpark, right? Just in the ballpark. Right. How long it takes is not my business. That's right, Alyssa. Right. The time serves you because we say things we don't mean. Imagine if it manifested fast. Right. And here's the thing, some of the unwanted does manifest fast, and then you all upset with yourself and you're beating yourself up. Yeah. Well, when I use the term feel, I'm using it as a synonym for think. Now, other people, when they say feel, they use it as a synonym for emotions. I say your thoughts and your emotions are in the same boat. You tell yourself what to think, and you tell yourself how to feel or how to emotionalize. But a lot of times when we say feel, we're using it as a synonym for think. Like, well, I feel like this is impossible. I'm telling myself that this thing is too difficult for me to believe in, to trust, because I don't know how it's going to happen. And since I don't know how, and I have absolutely no way of coming up with the answer, I think this is an impossible thing for me. That's Janine. That's it. Say, now I don't concern myself with the how or when. My concern is I know. And that's the part that keeps tripping people up. The how and the how and the when, the how and the when. And we're so obsessed with the when. I think people are more obsessed with the when than they are with the how. Because you have so many people promising 24-hour manifestations, 72-hour manifestations, saying, how they got this at this time, and they got, they're giving you, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but everything they've ever manifested did not come in 24. It just doesn't happen. That's just not how this third dimension is choreographed. Why? Because we came to experience. If we wanted everything the moment we thought of it, we would have stayed spiritual beings. We wouldn't came into human form. But the reason why we came into human form is to have the experience, to see the evolution of it, to see the growth of it, to see it come into form, to take the journey with it. Yep. So even the Bible says there's a due season. So I don't tell myself, it's not my business when I start to ask myself those questions. Yep. Delissa, yeah. Because that is the short thing that's going to trip you up. Because have you guys heard of Barstool? I didn't really know what it was. I guess it's some type of affiliation with sports or whatever, but it's like a really, really big thing now, Barstool. He was interviewed by Shannon Sharp. I'm not really familiar with it, but I guess it's supposed to be like really, really a huge platform, and very yes, I think it's like a huge platform. I tried to Google it to see, because I've heard of Barstool, but I still don't really know what it is, but I've heard of it because I watch a lot of football, so I've heard of Barstool before. But he was interviewed by Shannon Sharp. He said that it took them 10 years. 10 years. He said he had to move back in with his ex-wife's family. She stayed through the whole thing. Now when his business finally took off, they ended up divorcing. But he said she still has access to his bank account. He said that they were still really good friends. They just didn't make it in marriage or whatever. He was like, she was there during the whole time of the building of the company. So he feels like she's due part of that, and she has access to his account. And he was like, if she wanted to take the money, she could, because, she has access to it. But I'm saying that to say that he didn't give up on his dream, even though it took 10 years. Even though it took 10 years for him to realize it, for it to finally start making money. Now, he said when it started making money, then the money just came in like a flood. But before they made their like first million or however what it was that they were able to see a net profit, he said it took 10 years. But he never gave up. You gotta do this puzzle piece. And like I said, I don't know how long, because maybe, there was some things he had to work out, some things he had to do in his mind. Who knows? The thing is that just remain faithful to it. And a lot of times, too many of us, we think, well, somebody telling you, it don't take God that long. It don't take God that long. Well, you're God. And so we think, well, somebody telling you, it don't take God that long. It don't take God that long. Well, you're God. And so it's taking you that long because it's taking you that amount of time to get your mind right, for you to be prepared, for you to be ready to receive the blessing. Because don't get it twisted. People be like, oh, you don't manifest things that you're not ready for. People manifest stuff they're not ready for all the time. Whether it be positions, babies, marriages, jobs, money. People manifest stuff they're not ready for all the time. Because the I am isn't deciding whether you can handle it or not. The I am will give you whatever you believe you can have. It's not making any judgments. It's not saying, well, I'll give it to you, but I won't give it to them because you got a special work going on. And them, they're just foolish. I'll let them have it. And then you're a special project. No, there is no respect of person when it comes to consciousness, when it comes to the I am. It's always done unto you as you believe. Always. And so the reason why it's taking longer for you, because that's how long it took for you to believe it. And that's it. That's the reason. Because it took you that long to believe it. Some people it's going to take them 5 years. Some people it's going to take them 2 years. Some people it's going to take them 6 months. Some people it's going to take them 2 days. Everyone is given the measure of faith. But not everybody exercises it. Depending on your road in life, the things that you've experienced in life will determine your belief system and whether you see yourself as being able to have something or not. Like the guy, the African American in one of Neville Goddard's story, I think his name was his name Benny? I may have his name wrong, but he came to Neville and back in the 50s, and he was saying, look, Neville, I hear what you're saying, but I was born, at that time, I think they were calling people that look like us Negroes, I think that's what he said. He was born a Negro or whatever. And he was saying all of the prejudices and the stumbling blocks he had being born the color that he was, and Neville told him that it's your thoughts about it. Your thoughts is what's hindering you from achieving the things you want in life, is no one else. Well, he said it took him 3 years to overcome that mindset of thinking that it was the color of his skin holding him back from achieving what he wanted in life. And when he came back, he had built a business at that time making over $250,000 a year with no money. He had no money to start this business, but it took him 3 years to overcome that state of mind that says that the reason I don't have the things I want in life is because the color of my skin. Now, somebody else, it may take you 6 months to get over that hoop, or because of the time that we live in and we see that, that's really not so much of an excuse anymore. Not to say that it ever was an excuse, or there is an excuse or not an excuse. That's neither. That's probably a poor way of explaining that or saying that. When you understand that it's not about societal norms that keeps you from experiencing life you want, it's your thoughts about it. It's your thoughts about it. Hey, Viva Avida Travel. Yes, the journey is worth it. Yep, on the wrong sides of tracks. Yep. Yep, you just got to believe. Yep, could have had that all 9 years. Yep. Yep. And so that's what it really comes down to. And that's why you have different people like, there's nothing wrong to work with the coach or somebody that maybe can help you, Here's the thing, if you think that you have money blocks, or you think that you have something in you that's blocking your manifestation, again, it's done unto you as you believe. So you're going to create the reality that something is stopping you. And then you're going to create the reality where I need help from someone to help me unblock myself. And so then you're going to create the reality of needing someone to assist you in that. Remember, this is all your creation, though. You're believing that someone is that you have money blocks. You believe that you can't get rid of the money blocks. And you believe now you need someone else to help you get rid of the money blocks. See how that is all going to happen because you think this. But you could just stop thinking that you have money blocks. What's a money block? What does that even mean? What does it mean to have a money block? Like sometimes you need to just talk to yourself and ask yourself some of these questions and define some of these quote unquote beliefs that you have. And see what answers come up. How are you defining that? And then decide to think it's opposite. Like who told you had money blocks? Where did you get that from? Who told you that? Opposite. Like who told you had money blocks? Where did you get that from? Who told you that? And it could be because, based on, Western society and how you grew up and your education and your family and your friends and in your environment convinced you that only certain people were supposed to have money and other people weren't. And so you recognize that, but in today's society, even if that was true 40, 50, 60, 100 years ago, is that true now? Is that relative to today's society? Should I be applying that belief system to my situation? Right. Because it really is about what story are you telling yourself? What story are you telling? What story are you telling? Because the story that you're telling is the story you're creating. So you got to choose to stop telling the story, even if you see examples of this truth. Even if there are examples of it, it doesn't have to be your truth. You could be the one that experiences something different. Because why? You said so. You could decide to change the script. It's a choice though. And here's the thing, when you decide to change the script, you have to decide to stick to the script. You can't change the script and then go read the old script and then think the new script is going to come to make itself known. That you have to decide and remain faithful, even when it looks like it's not showing up, even when everything seems. And I know people will come and tell you, oh, well, the universe or God is going to test you because why? Again, how is you being God, then who's testing you? So you're testing yourself? And why would you do that? Why would you test yourself? Now, doesn't things happen that causes a shift in reality because you've had a shift in perspective, because you have a shift in your thinking, because you have a shift in your mindset? So the outer world, but you don't like the shift, so you call it a test? Because that's all it is. You don't like how things got moved around. And so now you're saying, oh, why is these things happening to me? I said I wanted to make more money. How dare I lose my job? Because maybe in order for you to get from that position to this position, you had to be let go of that position. Because otherwise you wouldn't have moved to the new position. You would have kept wanting the more money, the new position. But you can't occupy both states at the same time. You cannot be in this position and still hold on to this position, right? You're saying you want to go from here to there, but you want to stay here thinking you're going to get there. No. And I'm not saying that that's the only way you can end up in the other position, right? But that may be for you. In order for you to go from here to here, you may have to be let go of here. I'm not saying go quit unless you feel really led to do it. Unless you're like, oh, I feel good about this decision. This is my path. No questions, no fear, no anxiety. I just know it's just time for me to leave this spot right here. But not doing it to make something happen, right? Because we don't make anything happen. Hey, Tonio, thank you. The one thing about me, I'm a quit. My soul says, I know, me too. Me too, Lisa, me too. So, yep, if I had have accepted what I thought before was good for me, I realized I was, yep. Because the ways of the infinite mind, divine mind, is past finding out. And yes, the limiting part of us wants to know, but we have to train it to mind its own business. You got to remind yourself, your only business was to choose. That was your business. That was your responsibility to choose. And then how and when, none of your business. Not your work. That's the part you got to let go of. That's the part you got to give up to the subconscious mind, to the power within, to the I am. Your only job was to scan your environment, see what's what, and decide. And it don't have to be super, you can be as general or specific as you want. Because some people just say, I just want to be happy. I just want peace. I just want joy. And however that looks, right? And it can be, your joy can be found owning a business. Your joy could be found being a stay-at-home wife. Your joy could be found traveling the world. Your joy could be a nomad. Your joy. Hey, and when you follow the intuitive leading, and you're just like, hey, I'm just going to do whatever feels good in the moment, in the now moment, right now. And I'm going to trust that everything always works out for me. I'm going to give up thinking I know it all, because I don't. And I'm going to release that thinking that I know. Thank you. Yes, we are God. Hey, Michelle So Divine. How are you? Grand afternoon. Absolutely. Because prayer is not about a begging or a pleading or even an asking. Prayer is about giving gratitude, acknowledgement, recognition for the thing that you desire, you already have. Oh, I'm doing excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, don't look at prayer as you were taught in church. That's not praying. What they doing, these religious organizations, they're not praying. All of that bending down, getting down on your hand, eating. That's not prayer. That's when you don't know who you are and you think God is separate from you. Yeah, I don't come on as much as I used to. Exactly. That's begging. And prayer is really commanding. The words that you speak, they are spirits and they are life. The words you speak, their spirit and their life. You're giving life to your situation based on the words that you speak. So what are you giving life to? Every time you speak, you're commanding the I am to show you exactly what you're speaking. Right, Lisa? Oh my goodness. I did that too. I did, I was one of those folks on the pews, in the church. On there, oh God, please go, no, we're not crying out to God, begging God, pleading with, have mercy on us. We're not worthy of your love. Thank you for the blood, the blood, the blood, the blood, the blood. Oh my goodness. Woo! Them days are something else. Yep, that was me. Yep. Like, I don't know. Like, keep me out. I know, right, Lisa? Right. Oh my goodness. That's why a lot of prayers weren't unanswered, right? Because that was that was double-mindedness, right? Asking for something and then saying how unworthy you are to have it. If it be your will, that's another. You're conditioning the prayer now. Now you're saying, well, I want it, but I don't really believe I can have it. So God, if you don't really want to give it to me, then that's okay. I don't even know why I asked for it in the first place. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? You just all mixed up. Just how you all mixed up. Yep, Dream Woman. Hey, real dish. Real deal, Rhea, how are you? Yep. Oh, no, so if you don't see it as Robert, oh, so if you don't see it as Robert, oh my goodness. Yeah. So I don't think I ever heard that one before. If you don't see it as robbery. Oh my goodness. But it was the path that led us to this knowing, right? That was the path that we were to take to bring us to this point in our experience here. Right? It's all part of the play, the movie. And so now we understand how, off the mark we were. We were definitely missing the mark. We were definitely missing the mark. We were definitely transgressing the law. Right? Because the way of the transgressor is hard. And that's everyone that thinks that they're unworthy. That's the transgressor. Those who don't understand that the crooked paths are supposed to be made straight. Say, unfortunate for us. I mean, it was what it is. That's what happens when you're asleep, right? You're led astray. You go off into a far country, right? The prodigal son went off into a far country. That's what we did. We went far away from ourselves. And then eventually, we wasted all we didn't know our thoughts created our reality, right? We didn't know the power was always within us. That we could go home at any time. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And the home is where the heart is. Your home was always within you. That's what your kingdom was within, and you thought it was out there, and the whole time it was in here. Yes, we rewrote the scripts. That's that part. Yes. Now it's all about being the wealthy version of you, right? You're wealthy because wealth is all encompassing, right? That means it's well-being, you're successful, you're healthy, right? You're full of harmony and compassion and goodwill towards all men, all minds, all everything, because you understand that there is nothing separate from you. You see with the eyes of God, no longer from the limiting mindset. See, God only sees God. That's all God. God only sees God. So now you have to ask yourself, what do you see? So now you have to ask yourself, what do you see? Because God only sees God. God only sees good. God said all that I made was good. Because everything was made out of me. Everything comes from the one called substance, consciousness, the I am. Oh, you did, Michelle. Oh, yes, it's a beautiful time to be alive. And oh, I love that. Thanks for that reminder, Michelle. It's a beautiful time to be alive. Oh, we could just say that. When you think about that, when I read that statement, it was like, that's right. It's a beautiful time. We have to, because see, the world will convince you that this place is the most decrepit place but then when you travel this world and you go out and you see the mountains and the waterfalls and the oceans and the lakes and the rivers and the seas, and you see the beachfronts, you see all the architecture, and you see all the beauty, you see the rainforest, and you see these, and you're like, how could you say that this world is not beautiful? How could you not see the works of an intelligent mind? Yes. So if I'm manifesting marriage with someone, I shouldn't think, oh, he's not ready. What of this? Right. Exactly. Yes. Confidence. Oh, that's it. Just see it as ready. That's on one has fruit. Right. Here's the thing. When it comes to desiring marriage and who's going to, here's the thing you got to know. You're attracting you. You're attracting your beliefs. See, my self-concept wasn't good with my first marriage, but my self-concept was excellent in my second marriage. My self-concept did a 180. I was not the person. I didn't even think the same way. I didn't even see myself the same way when I attracted my second husband. Because I had by that time determined that I deserved a good man. So a good man had to show up because I decided I was a good woman. And so a good woman deserved a good man. That's what you say. A good woman I'm a good woman, and a good woman deserves a good man. So how's anything less than a good man going to show up? And then you ain't even thinking about if he wants to get married or he don't want to get married. That doesn't even enter your mind, because why wouldn't the good man want to marry a good woman? Why is that even a thought? That shouldn't even be a thought, because of course a good man wants to marry a good woman. He wants to share his life with her. Like what? So that whole does he, doesn't he, should he, shouldn't he, that isn't even a conversation in your mind. Oh yeah, you're welcome, Michelle. Say that's what you said. Yes. Hey, serious God talk. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you being here too. Oh, thank you. Yes, so beautiful and so abundant. Yes. Hey, fresh air. Right, that's it. That's it. You're seeing your Your SP is someone separate from you. No, they're not separate from you. Because here's the thing, Dream Woman, and I hear this a lot, not just in in our community, but just in general. People look for things to be wrong with the other person and then wonder why they see things wrong with the other person. They see things wrong with the other person. You go in looking for something to be wrong with them and then wonder why you find it. Go figure. I didn't go on dates with my husband at the time. You know, he was my husband at the time, but I wasn't going on dates with him trying to find something wrong with him. Like, he better do this and he better do that and why he doesn't do this. No, we went on dates to get to know each other, to enjoy one another's company, to laugh and to have fun and to talk and see if we had things in common and if we could really, like, you know, match one another's vibe, so to speak. I didn't go out on dates trying to look for wrongness. And because my husband is a gentleman, is chivalrous for real. Like I said, I don't open a door. I don't take out garbage. I don't mop floors. Like, I clean, but there's certain things I don't do. Like, I don't take out garbage. I don't open doors. You know, like, he buys me flowers and stuff. And he, you know, he always gonna make sure he pull out my chair. He's gonna always make sure, you know, every door is open, whether it's a car door. I don't drive when I'm with my husband. Like, and that was new for me because that wasn't what I had experienced prior to him. Because prior to him, the confidence wasn't there. The self-esteem wasn't all the way there. I'm not gonna say I had really low self-esteem, but when it came to men, I guess my self-esteem was pretty when it came to men, right? Maybe not in other areas, but when it came to relationships, yes. Because I was like a lot of women in the world. All men are dogs. They are uncommitted. They're fake. They all cheat. Like, that's the mindset I had. So that's the type of men I was dealing with. Not until I changed my mindset, then made room for my husband to come into my experience. Yes, Shanzi, yes. I have a YouTube channel. The link is in the bio. Prosperous Living with Toyia. You can catch just about all of my lives from TikTok on there. Yep. Hey, Kate, the holistic home girl. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Yep. Yep. I had to go through the frogs. You exactly, Koshiba. Yes. And it really is. It really is a because. And I had this change of mindset way before I knew anything about law of attraction, law of assumption. Because my husband and I, we didn't discover this teaching until 2018. We were already married. I met him at the end of 2013. My divorce was final earlier that year, but I had already been separated for a good 4 or 5 years before I even got, you know, legally divorced. Legally divorced. And I met him right before my birthday in December of 2013. And so it wasn't about so much a feeling with emotions. It was a feeling of knowingness. It's a peace. It's an ease. That's what Neville Goddard means by feeling. He isn't talking about like, oh, you're giddy and happy and over the moon type. He means that there's a peace within you, a knowing, a stillness that you have, a confidence that you have. That's what it's a naturalness. It's normal for you. That's what he means by feeling is the secret. Normal for you. That's what he means by feeling is the secret. You kind of just know. And it's not that I'm walking around like, doing flips and cartwheels. And no, I just knew that, oh, yeah, I deserve a good man. Okay. And I met my husband on a dating website, blackpeoplemeet.com. I don't think that thing is around anymore. And another one of my girlfriends, she met her husband. They've been married over 10 years as well. And she met her husband, I think, a year before I met my husband. She met him on the same website, blackpeoplemeet.com. Oh, you met yours on Facebook? Yes. All right, Serious God Talk. Yes. You say, wow, really? Yep. I know quite a few people that have met their spouses online. Yeah. Yeah, knowing that you've already you ordered. Right. Hey. All right, Lee. Hey. Welcome. Oh, you met your second on FB. All right. See, there you go. And you have to trust yourself, but you do have to see yourself as already being that version that, once you accept that relationships are your assumptions about them, right? Once you transform your thinking, you will see that the relationship will be effortless. The conversation is effortless. The talks about money is effortless. Like, you don't have to like be no private eye investigator type person. You don't, like those things don't even enter. And I have access to everything. The only thing I don't have access to is he has a bank account by himself, but of course if I wanted it, I could, but there's no reason, but we have he has his own bank account. I have my own bank account. And then we have shared bank accounts, and then all our investments and everything gets together. All right. So it's just like anytime. So it's just like anytime, use his phone, I can use his, it's like, but that trying to see where they at and keeping a log on something that the insecurity didn't try to pop up, because it did, right? The old man will try to rear its ugly head, right? So I realized, because again, remember I told you I did this before I came into the law of attraction, the law of assumption, right? So I was working on mindset and change and everything. And then, once we're in, really in the marriage or whatever, yes, did insecurities try to pop up? Yes, they did. But that's when you have to talk to yourself, and you have to let the dead bury the dead, and you have to do the mental work of reminding yourself that, your partner is a reflection of your thoughts, and it's your thoughts that's creating your reality. And those are just old beliefs trying to rear their ugly head. And, you just gotta put it to death by what? Giving it no attention. You gotta change give the thoughts, give yourself new thoughts, right? Just remind yourself, oh no, this is, you gotta build your spouse or your partner up in your mind, right? Build them up in your mind, because they are you pushed out. And so it's what you think of them is what you'll see in them. So think the best so you can see the best. Say it over in conversation in your mind, right? But that's with anything, not just relationships. That's when it comes to money. That's when it comes to health. That's when it comes to your business, everything, right? If you've struggled with money, and then you get a lot of money, and then old beliefs try to come up and try to say, well, you don't really deserve, you don't really work hard for it, or, you better make sure that you save for a rainy day, or, you better make sure you do this or you do that, or, have you reverting back to those old thoughts and those old, limiting beliefs. That's when you have to talk to yourself. You have to remind yourself. You got to bring every vain imagination captive to what? The obedience of Christ. the Christ mind says that everything works out for me, that there is no limitation, there is no, there's infinite resources, that you're always well taken care of, that you shall never want, that you've been young and now you've old and you've never seen the righteous forsaken or his seed begging for bread. Like that you always have more than enough, that you were richly given all things to enjoy, that you have all things pertaining to life and godliness. Everything that you desire, right, is God gives thee the power to possess wealth. All right, like and we know who God is. God is the I am, the presence within you, the infinite part of you. So I learned a lot about myself with this relationship, though. Part of you. So I learned a lot about myself with this relationship, though. Things I never knew. Yep. The previous. So much growth. Yep, me too. So much growth. Because it's really about connection, right? This whole experience is about connection with self and connection with others, right? It's about building community. That's why religious organizations thrive, right? Because people want to have a longing, right? People want to be around people they have something in common with, right? And so that's why we have these different platforms and different communities, because people want to feel heard, they want to feel seen, they want to feel loved, or and the thing is that you're not going to get those things until you go within. And then once you go within and you already possess those things, then you can freely give it to others. And so then you'll attract other like-minded people into your experience. And you'll also attract people that's wanting to know this experience, right? So you'll be drawing all men unto you. So, and you'll be drawing men of different levels of where they are on their experience, on their path, right? So some people will be where you are. Some people may even have more experiences, have experienced more things than you have. And some people may be on a different level, right? But they're all there because you drew them in, because your light is what's drawing them into you. Your experiences, the way you live this life is causing them to want to come into your experience, right? Like attracts like. You're attracting others into your experience based on what you believe, what you accept, what you know. I know a lot of people don't like that word believe. So you don't gotta believe, you gotta know. Because believe just means to accept in my book. It just means to accept the thing is true. And I know why people don't like believe, because believe has caused a lot of people to experience things they didn't want to experience, because we put our faith in others. It wasn't the believe or believing was displaced. It was put on, the faith or belief was put in others as opposed to within our own selves. So that's why we don't like that word believe, because we're like, well, I believed you and I believed you and I trusted you and I had faith in you, when you were the whole time supposed to have faith in yourself, and you're supposed to believe in yourself, and you're supposed to trust yourself. It was never about trusting and believing in others. It was about trusting and believing in you. Trusting that you're making the right decision, that you're not basing your decision based on how well someone speaks. A lot of us basing your decision based on how well someone speaks. A lot of us do that. And I know a lot of us have been guilty of that. Somebody just sound like they know what they're talking about, and we believe them. Or somebody get on here and they tell you, oh, I made X amount of money, X amount of dollars in 6 months, and I can show you how to do it, and it's going to cost you $5,000. Damn. And because they sound real good, they sound like they know what they talking about, and then they'll tell you, but I got an e-course. It normally costs $5,000, but guess what? Today, I'm going to give it to you for $997. And normally it costs $5,000. And then a lot of times we don't question ourselves. We don't be like, well, who valued your ebook at $5,000? Who said that your e-course, your webinar was worth $5,000. Where did this valuation come from? Based on what criteria? But because they're like, well, look, I'm living the life you want to live. I have the dream home. I have the dream car. I have, and I'm doing it. And they sound very convincing. They may even have videos to show you, they may be, living in a home that looks all glamorous and looks, and they might be standing next to a car that may be your dream car. And so, yes, it looks like what they're saying, is backed up by what they're presenting to you. And you have to ask yourself, does the steps that they took to get their million, is it going to be the same steps that you're going to take to get your million? I can almost guarantee you no. No two people's path are the same, right? How Amazon blew up is not how Walmart blew up, right? How Apple blew up is not how Microsoft blew up, right? No two people are going to experience life, right? Because God is not limited in its ways. Its ways are infinite and are past finding out. So no one can tell you your road to success. Finding out. So no one can tell you your road to success. Now, there's a basic blueprint or foundation that everyone has access to, but this is not something you have to purchase. What you have access to is belief, trust, and faith in yourself. Dedication, commitment, and persistence in yourself. Because that's really all it takes, is that when things don't appear to be going your way, that you may have to, some things you discovered, oh, that doesn't work. Let me do something different, right? Because to keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result, now we call that crazy, right? But on your journey, and a lot of things would be smoothed out if we would just seek guidance from within, if we would just meditate, if we would just pray. See, scripture says to acknowledge him in all thy ways, and he shall direct thy path. But a lot of us would rather ask the internet guru. We would rather ask our favorite YouTube manifestation coach. We don't really want to go trust the consciousness, the I am within, the power within us, and ask and seek guidance from within. We would rather seek guidance from without. Yes, discipline. Hey, user 433. You got to believe in yourself. Say to you, help me realize there's no right and wrong. It's what we make of each. Yep, it's what we make of each situation. It really is. And it's really about learning to trust in the presence within you. And it will never lead you down a wrong path. It won't. It won't. When you truly trust it. Does it always happen the way you think it should happen? No. But learn how to trust the process. Learn how to enjoy the experience. Because sometimes you just not going to know it all, and that's okay. That's okay. But you will get instructions from the divine once you learn to trust the divine within. But it comes through what? Practice. You have to practice listening to the still small voice. You have to practice that. You have to practice asking for directions, and then when you're given the direction, following the direction. Like how many of us actually, before we go to bed, ask our inner voice, the deeper self, the I am within us, to reveal the path to us? How many of us are actually praying in that way as we go to sleep? Asking for guidance, asking for direction, and then taking it. Even if it sounds weird, or even it's like your reasoning mind be like, I would never do that. That sounds weird. That sounds crazy. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Because that logic mind, if you find yourself trying to reason with directions, you're going to reason yourself out of not doing it. You're going to talk yourself out of not doing it. But if you can learn to not think so much, when I say think, I mean try to figure it out and try to worry about it. When you can just step back and just be in a space of, I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm just going to go where my heart is telling me to go. I'm just going to go with whatever comes to my first mind. And if it ain't crazy, right? It ain't like trying to hurt anyone or, trying to manipulate anybody or anything, but you're truly being guided and you're just going with the flow. And and it may seem weird, but it's not going to hurt anyone. Do it. That's how you begin to trust yourself. That's how you trust yourself. That's how you learn that the infinite within is not out to hurt you or to harm you or to do bad things to you. It really is your life. It's the life force within you that only means you good. But how would you know that unless you tested it? Unless you proved it to yourself? And so that's really the challenge. That's how you stop seeking for answers on the outside. And you really learn to really seek within. Because no one's is anyone's savior. No, people don't need saviors. People just need to trust in themselves. We just need to wake up to the divine presence, the guidance within us. Yep. Sometimes I have to trust ourselves just to be quiet. Oh, you do affirmations and affirmations? Yes. Say, can we say practice daily? But you got to get over that though. You're told that someone said that the Bible says to fear not 365 times. Said that the Bible says to fear not 365 times. To be not afraid, to fear not. They said that phrase or something like it is mentioned 365 times in the Bible. That's probably the greatest adventure, dream woman. Not knowing exactly what you want, but doing what comes to mind anyway. Like maybe your intent of leading is telling you to go to some restaurant that you've never been before, you've never tasted their food, and then you get there and you meet some people when they, like you don't. The thing is don't try to figure out why you're going. Just go. Or why you're doing it, right? Just do it. Just see where the journey takes you. That's the greatest adventure. To see where it, and then you find out, man, I'm so glad I took this path. I'm so glad I went this road. I'm so glad I decided to come and do this today. I'm so glad I decided to go here today. I'm so glad I took it. I normally go this way home, but for some reason I'm feeling led to go this way. I'm feeling led to stop. I'm feeling led to stop here first. And I'm so Yep, dream woman. Like we know from a general point, but you're not sure, do I get? But that's because you're still unsure of yourself, dream woman. And you still think that you can get it wrong. You're still looking at experiences as right or wrong, and they're not right or wrong. They're just experiences. It's just a part of the play, part of the movie. You have to step back and stop seeing things as oh, I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have went there, or why did I do that, and just see it as just an experience. Take the judgment out of it. You will find when you stop judging life so harshly, that life won't be so harsh. Stop judging it so harshly, and then you find out it's really not that hard. You will really find out that life really is easy. It really is when you choose to see it as easy. But if you're going to continue to see it as harsh, or that you're always making mistakes and that you're always messing up, if that's your perspective about life, then that's how it's going to show up for you. Oh, yes, yes. And then sometimes you may not even know the destination. Sometimes you may just, it's like, sometimes play a game with yourself, right? And see where it leads you. But yeah, I get it. That part is the unknown to the conscious mind is the most scariest part. It does seem terrifying because it's something that we don't normally do. We like to know exactly. That's why we got these navigation systems on our phone, right? We're so afraid of getting lost that when we get in a car, before we do anything, we got to know exactly where we're going. And then get mad when the GPS send you off. It takes you on a detour or something. Or didn't give you quite the amount of time that you needed or wanted. I know, right, Michelle? Me either. And you know what's funny? I was telling I tell all my kids to get on social media though. I tell them all. I told my old, I tell them the youngest, she's on there, but she's not really supposed to be on there. But my older ones, the only one that really, she finally did it. And she's not gonna say now she probably get like 60,000 followers. She makes several $1,000s a month on TikTok now. And then now she has a really good job where she lives in Tampa, and she signs people up for Medicare and Medicaid. And so she really likes that job. She just started like about a month or so ago. But she cause she's like, Mom, I'm about to be making, she's in school job. She just started like about a month or so ago. But she cause she's like, Mom, I'm about to be making, she's in school too. She doing school online. She's like, I'm about to be making my 6 figures. I'm about to, cause they, during enrollment period, that's when a lot of people make the most money. She's like, I only been there a couple of months. I'm already in the top 25 sales reps or whatever. So she's like, really, she's like, she loves talking, and she's talking to the older generation. And so she's like, sometimes she'd be on the phone with some of these people for like 2 hours. She's like, one lady had on there trying to be her therapist. She's like, she wanted me to be her therapist. I was like, how do I get off this phone with this lady? But she understands that her mouth is her gift. She's very opinionated, has the gift of gab, and ain't afraid to share it. And so that's really how she makes her money on TikTok. She just put the phone in her face. She be in a bonnet. She be on the phone. She whatever. And now she getting paid from TikTok, Instagram, and paid from TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. All 3 of them are paying her to create content too. And I'm just like, wow. Yep. Yeah, they do, Delissa. Yeah, yes. Because you probably be surprised that older generation, probably a lot of them may be at home by themselves, But yeah, she said she'd be on the phone with them for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Yeah, so. I think it's her birthday is a day before mine's. But when I was her age, when I was younger, I didn't talk a lot. I was really quiet until my early adult. I was one of those people that, if you didn't talk to me, I wouldn't talk to you. Like, I was I was an introvert as a child. I was really, really quiet. Hey, beautiful one. Then I grew up. And now I can talk, especially don't let it be something I really, I feel like I know something about. Oh yeah, I can talk like football. Oh, I could talk for hours about football. And I could talk for hours about the law of mind. Because here's the thing, with football, I read a lot about it, especially, you know, when newspapers were a thing. I started watching football like in the late 80s, like when the Bears went to the Super Bowl. That's when I started watching football. And I would read, I would read the different articles in the newspaper. That's how it was with basketball too when Michael Jordan played. I was a huge basketball fan when Michael Jordan. When he retired, I retired. I stopped watching basketball. When he left the game, I left the game. But football, I will always love. I will always love football. Always. Yeah, it's been a long time since that happened. Yep, 1986. The only time I didn't watch football regularly is when I was in church, because we was in church all day long on Sundays. So that was the time. That's when I had a break from football, is when I gave my life to Christ. And I gave up football. I gave up football and I was in church all day long, 3 or 4 days out the week. Oh, but then when I left the church, I grabbed football right back. I was like, here I come. But yeah, Bean is, man. Just know that the thing happens exactly when it's supposed to. That's how you have to look at it. The thing you desire comes into your experience exactly when it's supposed to. It always happens right on time. Always. Even if it happens after the time you designated for it. It always happens exactly when it's supposed to. Just remain faithful to it. Do what you have to. And I say the way you convince yourself is talking to yourself, whether you're affirming, meditating, journaling, making vision boards, however you're communicating with yourself. Remain faithful to it. Be open to how it shows up. Be open to it. And don't let a minor hiccup, make you lose your faith or cause you to stumble. Like, don't let that shake you. Things happen that, for things you don't really know why until the end. Until you look back and you said, oh, that's why I did. That's why I went here and that's why that took place. And sometimes you don't know until you're able to see the whole picture, until the whole picture comes into view. And then you can understand why you took certain steps and why you did certain things and why you didn't. When you thought it should have went that way, it went this way. And not going that way was a good thing. And when at first you thought that should have been the way. And then it ended up that wasn't the way, it was this way. And then you figured out, oh, I know why it was this way now. I know. Hey, Jakari, you said, I am Mr. Football. Yep, divine timing. Well, you're calling them worse. That's a judgment. Because you're thinking it should be happening in a certain way. Change your perspective about it. Know that everything is working out for you. See, if you're saying it just keeps getting worse, then what's going to happen? What if you decided to say something else? What if you just, oh, that was interesting. Oh man, I didn't see that coming. I would have never thought that would have happened. Oh wow, okay. But I don't care what happens, it all works out for me. All things works together for my good. And so right now I'm determining this not good, then this is not it. If I have determined that this isn't good, then this can't be it. because all things work together for my good. Things I manifested of years ago and just now happening. Some things just take. Yep, Delissa. You have to be willing to give things, even when something seems to be getting worse. You have to be able to find the good, to find things to be thankful for. Not Bob Proctor. You like Bob Proctor, Michelle? Oh. Yep. So I never thought I'd own my own house, and then I changed my mind. 4 years ago. Ooh, beautiful. All right. Come on, Delissa. I know that's right. So he motivates. Yeah. I saw some of his videos. I just never like really got into him. But I have seen he does have he's more on the law of attraction spectrum. And so when I kind of left the law of attraction spectrum and moved more over into the law of assumption, law of belief, a lot of those law of attraction teachers I kind of don't really listen to anymore. But yes, great motivational speaker, definitely. Hey Saturn. Once I started telling myself on the station. Hey Saturn. Once I started telling myself on the station, it's instant. I saw things come. Ooh, yes. Everything is instant. I just say once you let go of the time frame, because instant and faster is all what? Relative, right? It depends on who you're talking to. Because some people think a month is a long time. Is it really? Some people think 2 weeks is a long time. Really? Some people think if it didn't come yesterday, it took too long. Really? So, it depends on who's telling the story. Because if someone told you I made $1 million in a year, and you only telling the story. Because if someone told you I made $1 million in a year, and you only make $75,000 in a year, you would say that's really brilliant. You made $1 million in a year, and in their mind, it seemed like it took 5 years. When they really think about it, it took a year. And then to you would be like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. How did you make $1 million in a year? I'm making 75,000. And then you're like, show me your ways. You're a guru now because you managed to make $1 million. They're like, yes, I did. Now I can show you how to do it. Buy my e-course for $5,000. I mean, okay. Just don't get caught up in those traps. To get your money into their bank account while they convinced you that they have these. That's what just be so. Sometimes I'll be sitting back thinking, I'll be like, okay, you're convincing me that you're such a powerful business consultant that you have clients that's paying you $250,000, $50,000, $75,000, $500,000 to work with you to help build their business. Yet you spend all your time on YouTube trying to convince me to buy a $3,000 e-course. How many people that has $250,000, $500,000 clients trying to convince somebody to buy a $3,000 e-course? Because they're not getting their money from these supposed consulting. Because they're not getting their money from these supposed consulting jobs. Their money is coming from you signing up for their webinars and their e-courses. That's where they're getting to have the lifestyle they have. They've convinced you they have the lifestyle. And so in order to continue with the lifestyle, they convince you to sign up for their courses. And usually they tell you it's $5,000. They're going to give you for the discounted price of $597. $597. Because you're like, hey, that's a steal. It's worth $5,000 and you're going to give it to me for $500. And yes, you can make 3 easily payments of it. Or they may even say the webinar is of it. Or they may even say the webinar is free for the first day, for the first time. But in order to really get an understanding, now you're going to have to purchase something else. And then to make your business grow to the next, then you're going to have to purchase something else. And then to grow to the next thing, you have to purchase something. Then to grow to something, then you got to purchase. You know, the type of money y'all spending on these e-courses, not y'all, but not y'all, but somebody else. The type of money they're spending on these e-courses for these internet gurus, they could just go down to their local college, their local junior college. At least go take some real business classes. Like but people want shortcuts, right? Like, I don't really like school, but I'll read a e-course that's supposed to tell me how to run my business instead of really going to learn how to run my business. Instead of going, because that's the part that doesn't, why would you give them like thousands of dollars? They're not accredited. You can't do anything with their certificate, but you could go get an actual degree from a college. At least you could do something with that. Not doesn't mean one day too long. You're funny, Saturn. Hey, real estate Nick. Right, real estate Nick. Hey, you put it out there, you never know. Hey. Hey, Nasir. They always used to say, if they are making all the money, why are they selling a course for so? Exactly. And then what's so funny is A-Town and I were talking about this the other day about pocket watchers with the JT. And it's like, yeah, you have to, because here's the thing, a lot of them do be sounding convincing, especially you look on their YouTube channel, they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers and hundreds of thousands of views. But then you have to think that, yes, people want shortcuts. People don't, if they're like, well, if you're going to teach me how to be like you for pennies on a dollar, but really that's what it appears. It appears that it's going to be pennies on a dollar. But actually, it ends up costing you several $1,000s because it's like smoke and mirrors, and it's it's a switch and bait. They're telling you these things that is happening to try to convince you to be a part of their webinars. And the thing is, most people are not going to admit when they kind of got scammed or they paid money and they figured out that it wasn't what the people were telling them it was. But if you want to hear some people talk about them being scammed by some of these internet gurus, Pocket Watches by JT, he actually had a phone line and people were calling in telling him, I signed up with so-and-so, and I signed up with this person, I signed up with that person, and they get you in the door and they give you a freebie, and then they tell you got to pay $97, and then to move up, then it's $1,000 some dollars. Then they're telling you to put stuff on your credit cards, and they're trying to convince you, like they want you to go in debt to be a part of their inner circle or to be signed up with their e-courses. And it's just like, man, if we can just lose the desperation mindset, and then we can get out of the mindset of thinking that, there's a shortcut to success. If we can stop thinking that someone else has the answer outside of us. Because there's no shortcut to believing in you. You got to do the work to believe in you. I don't care how much money you pay for these e-courses. They're not going to make you be dedicated. They're not going to make you be persistent. They're not going to make you be disciplined. That's probably why you didn't decide to go to college, because you know you weren't about to sit and try to take, 20, 30 classes to get a degree. Because you was like, I ain't disciplined enough for that. Now I'm not about to go and get this university, $50,000 or go in debt for $50,000 or $60,000 because I know I'm not disciplined enough to want to take all these credits to end up with this degree. And so you believe in a shortcut. And so you think, oh, well, they said they made and they have. Okay, I believe what they're saying because they sound so convincing. I mean, look at all the YouTube subscribers. Look at all of the views they have. It must be something. All of these people can't be wrong. All of these people, they can't all be, But don't get tripped up by the numbers. Just because everybody doing it, don't make it right, or don't mean that it's, But a lot of times I know it happens because we be desperate. We be like desperate times calls for desperate measures. And some of us be like, well, I really do hate my job. I really do hate my 9 to 5. Yeah, because they convince you that 9 to 5s ain't cool either, right? Like nobody wants to be 9 to 5. You're a slave to your job. You want the freedom and you want to travel here and you want to travel there and you want to, you want to be your own boss and, that whole spiel. My husband has a 9 to 5 and he loves his job. He actually loves what he does. So you can actually work for the man, for a company, get paid really well and actually like what you do. Actually enjoy getting up in the morning. That's a thing. That really is a thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. Having a well-paying career or job, there's nothing wrong with that. Is that people trying to convince you of something wrong, and the way for you to not be a part of that establishment is that you have to pay them to help you not work for a 9 to 5 anymore. But do you know that some small businesses, they work more than 9 to 5? You ever seen any restaurants? Some of those restaurant owners, they're working more than 9 to 5. Some small businesses, they may work 10 to 12 hours a day. Who's saying that's right or wrong? Who's determining that? Especially if it's something that you love to do. If this is your dream, this is something you always saw yourself doing. Why are we making that wrong? Yep, Janine, yep. Yep, until it's too late. Yep. Yep, until it's too late. Yep. Money for e-courses are the new, that part, it is. And it's so easy to be swallowed up in that, because who doesn't want more money? Who doesn't want an easy life? Who doesn't want to, find a way to make money easy? Of course, who doesn't want that? We all want it. It's all a part of this. It's in our DNA to have a life of ease. The thing is though, I sincerely believe you don't have to pay other people to realize it. I believe you can have it. You just don't have to give it to other people. That if you want a small business, use the money to invest in the business, not in the e-course about a business. Like this one lady called Pocket Watches and told him that Billy Carson told her to convinced her to invest $8,000 in him helping her how to buy Bitcoin. Not to invest $8,000 into Bitcoin, but to use the $8,000 to him teaching her about Bitcoin. And I was like, wow. Yeah. But what's beautiful is that she got her money back though. So that had a beautiful outcome. She actually got her money back. You know, that's a rarity. That's a rarity. But that was his follow-up, said that she was able to get her money back. Because JT has a really, really big platform. And so when he came out about it, I think that put the heat. And so when he came out about it, I think that put the heat on Billy Carson. Because I know somebody asked me that I watch Billy Carson. I couldn't vibe with the Billy Carson thing. But my husband, he liked Billy Carson. But I couldn't. I didn't. He wasn't my cup of tea. I know, right? Because and the thing with Bitcoin, I know I told you guys this before. I was trying to understand Bitcoin. Like I was watching like the Netflix documentaries about it, like trying to understand like, okay, what is it? What do you do? And then I even had family members that said that they were investing in Bitcoin. And I was just like, I couldn't wrap my head around it. So I was like, I'm not investing in something I really don't understand. Because at least with, if you invest in Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola been around for how long? It's been around. Or if you invest in Pepsi, or you invest in, Amazon or somebody, these are legit consumer-based type companies, right? No, I didn't invest in it. I didn't invest in Bitcoin. When was I looking into it? I was looking into it before I met my husband. I think back in 2011 or 12, people were talking about it. When I used to work, for one of the big banks in the country, and one of the ladies I worked with, she was telling me about Bitcoin. So that got me to trying to find out what it was. Because at that time, Bitcoin was like $200, $250 for one coin for an investment. But I was just like, to me, the biggest thing was that it wanted to replace the dollar. The problem I had with it is that, but you're getting your value based on the dollar. Like, you want to replace the dollar, but your valuation comes from the dollar. Yeah, not making sense to me. And then I'm like, can I spend it? Like, can I use it to, like, is it a currency that you do? But in order to use it, you have to cash it in for the dollar. So like, I was like, yeah, this not making sense to me. I don't get it. The whole blockchain and the mining, and I didn't get it. So I just left it alone. But again, it's all for the experience, right? Unfortunately, some people experience it did cost them their life savings with these cryptocurrencies, because anybody can make one. Anyone can come up and say, oh, I have a cryptocurrency and it's called Prosperous Living. Go get your coin. And I guarantee I have a board of people. You can say that you went to Harvard and to Princeton, and you can go in there and look put on a real nice suit and get clean cut and go in and look real good and say that you got a certain type of background, and all you got to do is look convincing to people. That's what's just so crazy about this world, is like, all you got to do is convince somebody that you're legit. because we go that you're legit, because we go by what we see. We go by appearances, and we don't go by the fruit. And sometimes even the fruit is rotten, because people will show you proof and still be lying. That's why you just gotta, that whole trusting in other people, it's a very thin line. It's a very thin line. Just, learn to trust in yourself, believe in yourself, know that the answer is within you, that the I am within you is going to lead and guide you into all truth. There is no rush to make any decisions. All these people you ain't got a certain amount of time, hurry up, make a decision. People rushing you and trying to pressure you into a decision. Hold your horses. Unless your business is not going to be available tomorrow, I don't know why I need to make the decision today. That whole, this price is only available for today. Well, then that's the problem. Making the price only available today. Right. Gift of gab. So you have to be willing to trust yourself. Because if you're thinking something is too good to be true, then normally it's too good to, because you already thinking it's too good to be true. So go by that. You're thinking it's too good to be true, so then let it be too good to be true. And don't even involve yourself in it. But to me, when it comes to large investments, we should be a little bit more diligent in trusting in ourselves and believing in ourselves. And, it's the reason why you're doing it. You should question it. Your reason. If you really think it's a get-rich-quick scheme, it probably is a get-rich-quick scheme. And there is no get-rich-quick schemes. There never has been, and there never will be. The only get-rich-quick scheme out there is probably the lottery. Or a casino, right? Like you pay a couple of dollars. Or a casino, right? Like you pay a couple of dollars and your number just might come in. But it only costs you $2 to play. It don't cost you your life savings, right? It don't cost you about $2 or $5 to play. It's not gonna cost you going into your 401k, pulling out money. It's not gonna cost you going into your retirement fund to invest in the lottery, right? Anybody trying to convince you, oh, go pull money out your 401k, go pull money out your retirement account, that should be a hard stop. You should really, unless it's your business, it's your baby, it's something you're being led to do because it's all you, not because somebody else is telling you to invest in them. It's different when it's your baby. And you're going to invest your life savings in you. Okay. You're placing a bet on you. That's different from placing your bet on someone else. Because as we know, consciousness does not need your money. All right? Coin of heaven is the mind. And it never needed your money. The scripture said there's a way that seemeth right to a man, but the end of that man is destruction. Because you know it's coming from divine mind when it didn't come from you trying to figure it out. It kind of like the information kind of just drops in your spirit, kind of just comes from it. It's like, and it comes maybe in a dream, in a vision. Or it's going to come from someone you absolutely trust, that you've absolutely had some type of relationship with. Because yeah, it may come through your children, right? It may come through your parents, right? Those are people you trust. Those are people you know. Those are people you have a familiarity with. Oh, thank you, Nasir. Yep. Oh, thank you, Nasir. Yep. Yeah. I mean, life is a game, and yes, it's all part of experience. You know, the thing is that we just have to, you know, decide who we want to be. We don't do anything to make it so. That things just start to happen. And it becomes a part of your experience. And you will just be led to go here, to go there, to trust this, to trust that. And there will be a calmness. It will be, you know, like, and again, we don't always know in every great detail, but once we start trusting, once we start practicing trusting ourselves, the voice becomes clearer and louder. But you have to get in the habit of trusting it. So that's why you want to take those times when, you know, you have where you're not pressed and you're not desperate, but you're just going to take the day to just let me take the day to just let me just decide to follow that inner leading, and let's see where it takes me. Like, what's the first thing that comes to mind? I ask myself, okay, what would I want to do? What's the best option? What should I eat for dinner? Should I, you know what? And then whatever pops in your mind, and then do it and see where it takes you. See what adventure follows. Because there's really no harm, no foul, and your inner guidance system is not out to hurt you. It's not out to harm you. So with that knowing that which gives life, the inner being, the infinite intelligence within, is only life, and it only seeks to help you and to be with you and to lead and to guide you, then let go of the mindset that it looks to harm you, because it doesn't. The only thing that harms you is you. It's your thinking that does it. That's pretty. It's like, what? But yeah, a lot of the things that we experience is because of the way we think. And if we just thought differently, if we just trusted love more, if we just loved and we just operated in kindness and being compassionate and being generous, if we operated from that state, we will experience more of that. Hey, y'all, love. But no one can really, like, I can tell you, but you're not really going to know that until you experience it for yourself. It's going amazing. How about yourself? So decide today that you're going to trust you more, and you're going to, play the game with yourself of, let's see where the greater part of me wants to lead me, or to guide me, or to have me experience, right? Even if you don't even think you have the money, don't even let that be a hindrance. Because you can go anywhere in your mind, right? You can go anywhere in your mind. So there's no limitation. Even if you couldn't physically go there, you can go there in your mind. Even if you couldn't physically go there, you can go there in your mind. Oh, you're welcome, Scorpio, spirit soldier. Yeah, I believe this will free a lot of us from the fear and the trepidation and the anxiety and the doubt when we start to just say, you know what? I'm gonna trust me today. I'm not gonna listen to anyone else. I'm just gonna do what I feel led to do, feel led to go, feel led to be. I'm not asking anyone else's opinions about it. I'm not going to get a consensus and be like, oh, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? No, I'm going to go and I'm going to get up today. Like, oh, what do I feel like? Oh, yeah, I always been wanting to try that coffee shop. Okay, I'm going to go today. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting to just walk around, my neighborhood, my community, or I always wanted to just make a video. I want to see what it would be like to make a video on TikTok. I want to make me a video on TikTok and just post it. Like some of y'all probably been wanting to make videos on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And for whatever reason, you've been telling yourself, oh, I don't have the right lighting, I don't have the right camera, I don't even know what I would say. You're giving yourself all these excuses. Just pick up the phone and do it. Just go ahead and make your video and post it to all your social media and just see who cares how many views, just do it because you've been thinking about it. Because you've been thinking about it. But you've been talking yourself out of it. Because you give yourself all those excuses as to why it can't be you. Maybe you like to cook. Maybe you got some, a really nice wardrobe, so people really like to see some get ready with me's, right? Or maybe you're a foodie, you like to go to try different restaurants. You're like, oh, this would be really great. I know some really nice restaurants in my hometown that I have not seen on TikTok or Instagram. I'm going to go around and I'm just going to start vlogging all of the different restaurants I go to. Or maybe I like to go to museums in my city. I have a really nice downtown and I like to go to, or I like bar hopping. And I'm just going to be, I'm going to be someone that suggests to go into their local bars, and I'm just going to go and try different beers and different, wines, or, wineries or whatever. We talk ourselves out of a lot of stuff because we think somebody else wouldn't be in it, but you'd be surprised. People want to see what you because there's no one else like you. No one else is going to do stuff because we think somebody else wouldn't be in it, but you'd be surprised. People want to see what you because there's no one else like you. No one else is going to talk about, how you would talk about how you would express and show this version of you on the internet. And who knows what it may lead to? Who knows? And so, yeah, it's time to let go of the fears. Let go of, I can't, I don't know how. See, there you go. And I know, yes. Oh, see? Is that something you've been thinking about posting, Janine? Your scrapbooking? Oh, that's awesome all over. There you go. There you go, Janine. Yep. Because you probably got some tips and tricks that have not been talked about, or maybe your tips and tricks are different than the way someone else will explain it. Maybe you're going to make it more simple, you know, and give people some other ideas that never even came to mind. Like, and really doing it because you enjoy it, right? Not because it's about building a following, or it's because of doing anything other than that. You just want to share your craftsmanship, your arts and crafts, right? Like that's the reason you're doing it. Arts and crafts, right? Like that's the reason you're doing it. Oh wow, you got about 4 books finished. Wow. See, yep. Yeah, I look forward to seeing your scrapbooking on TikTok, Janine. I look forward to seeing it. Oh, well, that's amazing. All man, so they didn't even was scared to be an influencer. Yep. Anything's possible. And it truly is about being happy, right? Or whether you say joy, happy, whatever, however you want to describe it. But we're all here. We just want to be happy. We want to be healthy, right? We don't want to have any cares in the world. We don't want to have to worry about how we're going to pay this, or how we're going to do that, and what we're going to do with this. Ultimately, it just comes down to we just want to be happy. And so now it's just about choosing happiness and what that looks like for you. That's what it all comes down to. And so with that being said, it's 3 o'clock. I said I was going to be on here till 3 o'clock today because I got to go pick up my grandson. And so I've reached my 3 o'clock hour. Thank you guys so much. What's it called? The book club. We're reading chapters 6 through 8, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, Sunday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. We're reading chapters 6 through 8. Hope to see you guys there. It really has been a good time with the book club. There's been some really good discussions. We have more engagement, more people joining, coming up in the box. So that's really good. Getting a lot of people's perspective. He's really dropping some gems, reminding us everything is mind. Everything's about your thought. Everything is based on your belief. And he tells you a belief is just a thought in your mind. So have faith in the thought in your mind. It's just a thought in your mind. So have faith in the thought in your mind, because it's your thoughts that are things